It may be freezing outside, but our Oklahoma City real estate market just threw us a red-hot curveball. We just saw a surge in new listings, home prices took an unexpected dip, and buyers, they are hesitating more now than they have in months. But that's not even the biggest shift happening right now. There is a key trend that is buried in this month's data that could completely change the way that you buy or sell real estate in 2025. And if you miss it, you could end up overpaying, underselling, or worse. So before I freeze out here, I'm gonna run inside and we're gonna break down all of this data and what it means for you in 2025. Here we are, market trends. And again, if you're new to this, I'm going over Oklahoma City proper, right? And by doing that, we are looking at this handy dandy little map. Quite frankly, it goes a little further east than I would like. It does not take into consideration anything west like Piedmont, Yukon. Certain elements of Moore are not in there, but you know, it does go way the hell out here, which I could really care less about for this purpose. But if we were going to look at Oklahoma City, the map is just so gerrymandered. It's ridiculous. It omits Nichols Hills, it omits Bethany, and it's, in my opinion, not the kind of data that I want. So we are looking at Oklahoma County. That is something that will just give the most encompassing search for what we are looking for. So where does the market stand? Where are we? What are we doing? How are we? The ubiquitous question of, hey, how's the market? We are in a seller's market still and have been for quite some time. We've got 2.73 months of inventory, meaning it would take us 2.73 months to sell every home in our MLS if no new inventory were to be added. Now that is down 6% over December, indicating that homes may be selling a little bit faster month over month. But we are up 17% year over year, indicating that inventory is increasing in the long run, finally. Our sold to list price is at a triple digit fat 100%, meaning that sellers are getting full asking price on average. Obviously, there are some outliers. So this indicates that demand is steady. Looking at our median days on markets, we are up 3% over December. So that particular metric does indicate that homes are taking a little bit longer to sell. But again, for the winter months, a lot of this could be just a seasonal decline or, you know, the overall seasonality of it all. And our median sold price is sitting at a steady $244K, which is down 2.5 points over December. So what does this mean for the market? We are still in, obviously, a seller's market, but with the inventory increase, this does signal a potential shift towards a more balanced market. Short-term trends, inventory has dropped slightly month over month, indicating that demand is keeping up with the supply. But on the long-term trends, we have got 17, where are we at? It's way down here. On the long-term trends, come on, where the hell are you? Here we go. 17.2% increase year over year, indicating that there is so much more inventory and buyers are going to have a hell of a lot more options to choose from based upon this time last year. Now let's talk about some of the impact that this has on, we'll go with sellers first because I represent more sellers. You still have leverage, but it's weakening. You know, homes that are priced well, good condition, good neighborhoods, they are going to get snatched up. So your competition is going to be pretty fierce. Seller tips, price it right from day one. If you have to come back and cut your price, buyers could potentially see that as a stale listing or snake bitten, God forbid. You know, make your home stand out. If you need to knock out a punch list of honeydew items that you've been putting off, do that before you sell. Because there is this much more competition, you want to make sure that your home is standing out. So if you have to stage it, if you need to, you know, throw a fresh coat of paint up, and for God's sakes, do not take iPhone pictures. Hire a professional. Hit me up. I've got tons of recommendations that I can give to you. You need your home to stand out in this market because it is competitive out there. And then, you know, consider offering some sort of buyer incentives, you know, whether it's a concession for closing costs or they could use it towards a rate buy down. I've seen a lot of buyers successfully negotiate closing cost help or you know, a flat rate concession for A, B, and C. But, you know, there was a time where that was just unheard of, but it's becoming more and more standard and more, but now I'm seeing this on more and more offers. So think about that as you are pricing. Now for the impact on buyers, there is more inventory, so you do have a little bit more negotiating power than you did, but it's still not a buyer's market. So homes that are priced well are still selling and they're selling quick. Albeit if there are some homes that are sitting longer, it could give you an opportunity to negotiate. Some tips that I could have for buyers: look for price reductions. You can use my website and you can search for homes that have had price reductions in the past. I'm sure you can do it on the third-party syndicates as well. But if a seller has reduced their price, there's a good chance that they're willing to wheel and deal with you, and you can negotiate some sort of a lower contract price for your purchase. You could also consider homes that have minor cosmetic flaws if you're handy. I've had a lot of success basically writing an as-is offer. Granted, this is barring major mechanicals, so you still have an inspection. You can still ask if the roof needs to be replaced, or foundation, or sewer, or plumbing, or HVAC, or whatever. I mean, let's face it, you can ask for a pink pony, but as-is barring major mechanical defects kind of covers you. That way, if there is something, a big ticket item, you could still ask for that during the TRR. And then get pre-approved now. I swear to God, do not waste your time, do not waste anybody's time, and do not crush your hopes and dreams, because I've had so many people that go out, they want to go home shopping, they haven't been pre-approved, they fall in love with a house, then they go through the financing portion, find out that they couldn't get approved to buy a stick of gum, and they're heartbroken, and then they're mad at me. So get pre-approved first. It's going to save you so much time and headache and everything. Just do it. Let's boogie down to median estimated property value. Let's talk about how home values are holding up. Long-term stability, yeah? Median estimated property value for Oklahoma City is at $238K. Now that is no change month over month, but we are up 1.3% year over year. What does that tell us? So despite price dips in sold listings, home values remain stable. Now, long-term appreciation is still a key. Our Oklahoma City market is appreciating typically roughly around 3% year over year. And I love this particular segment because look at this, man. I mean, here we are, November of 24, Oklahoma median home value is at $235 versus the national average of $368. Mamma mia. I mean, out of all the closings that I had in February, I had 4 clients that have relocated to Oklahoma City. One of the main factors in them doing so was the cost of living and the fact that they could not buy a home for their children to inherit in California or in Washington or in New York. So if you're watching this from out of state, I am more than happy to give you a hand, because it is possible to buy a house for a fraction of what it is in your markets if you're moving from LA, New York City, Seattle, things like that. All right, new listings. We saw a huge surge in inventory. I mean, look at this, 1,288 properties, mamma mia. We're up 47% month over month. Our median list price, we are up almost 4% month over month to $280K. Median price per square foot was at $166, up 2% month over month, with a total volume of $497 million, which is up 51% month over month. I mean, huge surge. Now, granted, a lot of this is seasonality, but I love it when we're coming out of the winter months, gearing up towards spring, and things are it's going to be a cracking spring for sure. Median listing area square feet, I don't really care about this metric, but it was also up 0.1%, so nobody cares. This means for the market, buyers, you got some more options, reducing your bidding wars. Sellers, you gotta price competitively. Again, the theme, I'll harp on it till I die, but buyers are not gonna overpay with so many choices in this market. The impact on sellers, more listings means that you have more competition. Your home has got to stand out. If you price too high, buyers are just going to move on to another listing. As things trend up, and as we are seeing the seasonal decline of the winter, we're crawling out of it like a bear coming out of hibernation, I suspect that our inventory will be even higher than it was in 23 and in 24. Huge surge in listings. Just buckets of love. Moving right along to our active listings, more homes, longer wait times. So by the numbers, 2,500 properties active. Now that's total active, not that have just hit the market in January, but they could have been listed prior to. That's down 5.5 points month over month. Our median list price is up 1.6% to $310K. Our median days on market, homes are selling a little faster compared to December. With the number of properties, however, 2,500 active listings is just a slight decrease in our active inventory, but still we have a strong supply. Our median list price at $310K, meaning sellers are still confident in their pricing despite longer days on market. Total volume, who cares? So what does all this mean? Homes are sitting longer on the market, but they're still selling faster than they did last month. Buyers, they have more negotiating power, especially on homes that have been listed for a while. And sellers, they're holding firm on their list price, but slight drops in price per square foot suggest that there is some softening in our market. A few seller tips: if your home is not getting offers within the first few weeks, consider adjusting the price. You really have the first 2 weeks, first 14 days is your golden opportunity for your highest dollar. And if you're missing that mark, if you're not getting showings, you're not getting offers, likely you've got a problem. You could offer incentives, rate buy downs, concession costs, whatever you want to do to attract buyers in. Now for the buyers out there, more active listings means that you have more options and less competition. The homes that have been sitting could be prime for negotiation. So target homes that have been listed for like 45 days and see if those sellers are more flexible on price. And again, you could ask for any sort of assistance in closing costs. It wasn't really common in the last 4 or 5 years, but we're seeing it more and more. I think all of my listings that I have currently, the buyers have successfully negotiated some sort of concessions in form of closing costs or rate buy down, what have you. So know that that's an option. If your realtor isn't doing that for you, call me, we'll get you squared away. Let's look at new pending deals. Buyers are still active. Look at this, man. All our metrics are up month over month. All right, let's check out our number of properties, 863 new pendings. These are properties that are not entering the month pending, but have gone pending in the month. 863, up 25% month over month. So there are more homes going under contract. Our median pending list price is at $265K, which is also up 6%, meaning that buyers are still paying competitive prices. Median days on market is up 5.6% to 38 days. So it is taking slightly longer for homes to go under contract. But what does this all mean? More pending sales equals more buyer activity. Buyers are still willing to pay close to asking price, but they are taking a little bit longer to make those decisions. And now for you sellers, homes are still selling, but buyers are taking their time. If you're getting showings but no offers, what do you think is the problem? Your price too high. If you are not already prepared for it, expect buyers to hit you up for closing costs. It is not uncommon. It's not that they don't like you. This is just what happens in a market such as ours. If your home is not pending within 30 days, it is time to readjust your strategy. For buyers, you got more choices than last year, but well-priced homes are still moving fast. So even though there is less pressure to get into a bidding war, you need to be prepared to act quickly. Let's go down now to our pending listings. Alrighty, total pending listings. We have some strong momentum. Let's take a gander. All right, so we are at 1,059 properties, which is up 22% month over month. So buyer activity does remain strong, even though look at this little lovely chart. Look at these graphs. My God. Our median list price is at 270K, which is up 6% month over month. Prices, they remain competitive. And our median days on market is at 49, which is also up 53.1% month over month, meaning homes are taking considerably longer to go under contract. As you can see, made evident by our charts and the waves. And we are like at the absolute top right now, more than we have been in the last 5 years at least. What does this mean for the market? Homes are still going under contract, but buyers are negotiating and they are willing to wait longer. Sellers, they're holding on to the bag, man. They are keeping their pricing where it is, but buyers are not rushing in like they were at this time last year. And as far as the impact that this has on sellers, be prepared to negotiate different requests, different concessions, different things that you may not have thought about. Any listing agent that's doing well right now is setting those expectations with the sellers to say, look, As soon as we get an offer, I don't want you to think that we're going to get a list price offer, no concessions as is. It's likely going to come with some additional expenses that you may not have thought about. What I recommend if you're going into a multiple offer situation as a buyer, hit them with a as-is, barring major mechanical defects offer, because an as-is offer does mean a great deal to a seller. Obviously, price is going to play the most important role in it, but if you're not asking for concessions and the other guy is, you could be at the top of the heap. Not saying, just saying. Here we are, sold listings. Closings have rebounded. So we have had, in the month of January, 603 properties that closed out, bringing our total down 26% month over month, meaning that fewer homes sold in January compared to December. Now, that's not abnormal, but as you see from our graph of closed properties over the last 3 to 5 years, we are on a downward trend. Our median sold price was at $244K, which is also down 2.5% month over month. Median days on market for sold listings was at 33, which is up 3%, meaning that homes are taking slightly longer to close. But check this sold list price out. We are at 0.01% over list price. Hooray, hurrah. What does this mean for the market? This means a few things. Buyers are still purchasing, but they're just not overpaying like they were this time last year. If you're selling, expect to negotiate a hell of a lot more than you were if you were selling in early 2024. A couple tips, remember the theme, price competitively, avoid sitting on the market for longer than you need, offer some sort of concessions. A couple buyer tips, get your financing in order, be patient. New listings are hitting the market and more choices will be coming soon, but do be prepared to act quick in an area that is selling like hotcakes. For the sold public records tab, this is more of just like real-time transactions. This is anybody who is wholesaling, selling off market. Say I'm selling my house to my neighbor and I don't have a brokerage involved, things of that nature. So typically they're investors and they're at a lower price point. We had 281 properties sell last month, which is down a whopping 72%. And as you can see, that is lower than we've seen it in quite some time. There have been some laws that are tightening on the wholesaling community and people that are just getting out of it because it's harder than all of the people on Instagram and TikTok made it seem. The median sold price we're down to 188. A couple of stats and dats. If you are looking to sell your property off market, there are a massive amount of resources that we have within our office and that we could give to you. Make sure that if you are wholesaling that you know who your end buyer is. There's a lot of real shady wholesalers out there, just like there's a lot of terrible realtors out there. If you are electing to sell off market, just be careful. Or if you want somebody to run the numbers and to make sure that you are within the realm of reason and that you're not losing $100,000, give me a call. I'd be happy to give you the objective truth. Anyway, all right, let's wrap it up. So here's the bottom line. We are still firmly in a seller's market, but the balance is starting to shift. We've seen more inventory come on the market, but homes are sitting a little bit longer, and buyers have had more power to negotiate than they have had in a long time. So if you're a seller, pricing strategically is more important now than it ever has been. And if you're a buyer, now could be the best opportunity that you have had in a really long time to secure that house you've been looking at. Now, if you're curious what the good and the bad and the pros and the cons of living in Oklahoma City are, you can check out this video here and click here to make sure that you stay subscribed so you don't miss an update and you make me feel a little bit better. All right, that wraps it up. Thank you so much for dropping by. Have a good one. We'll see you on the next one. Be kind to one another.